Alright, stream should be up. But getting ready, shall I say, to drive around Austria. We get to watch a few names we saw last week, a few new ones as well. Jono, we saw Salmon and Marco and Luke last week. Coda, new one as well. Kia, Naismith, Charles looking to double up from last week after what was one hell of a race. Alfie trying to save himself here, to be honest with you, after a rather abysmal week last week. But here we go, we're going into Austria. It looks like a little bit... Actually, it looks a little dry. Wait and see if that changes at all. We've got a few people just waiting at the moment. We'll wait and see who's the first one to blink, who's the first one to get on this track to do a lap, get out while it's dry. That's for sure. It's just going to be overcast the entire way through, so everyone's gonna start to get ready to get out now onto the track now. Here comes Aston Martin and a Red Bull. Haas also looking to come out, Alfa Romeo, sorry, looking to come out of the pit lanes. That's Scotty. The Red Bull and the Red Bull Kia there as well. Feeling good today, Salmon. Good. Hello. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm just calming down a little bit from calming my brain down a bit by doing this. Just been playing pro clubs before this, so anyone who has played FIFA before. But as per usual, we'll watch the first out lap and the first flying lap for the first person over the line. Looks like Senna is going to be the first one. The Aston Martin setting up his lap. Going through the final sector now of Austria. Very, very quick lap. And a very, very easy circuit as well. Easy to learn, but somewhat difficult to get an extremely good time on. So we head up towards turn one. A little bit of a... almost half-hearted going into turn one by that look. It's not really that great. 16.4 right now for Senna. He goes through turn 3 up the hill, down, and now back down the hill toward the middle of the second sector, and then the hairpin that comes with it, turn 4. getting out onto the rumble strip is a good idea here. To be fair, as long as you can keep the car going, that last corner is probably like this little bit of a section here, 8, 9, and 10. Not even 8, 9, and 10. Sorry, there's a little bit before that. Is probably the hardest part of the entire track. The end of that second sector, beginning of that third sector is definitely the trickiest part. So the first lap, 1:06.2. I think we could see a lot better than that. The Kia 1:10.4 needs to pick it up. Salmon's got no front wing. Don't know what's happened there. Let's go and look at the current championship leader. Absolutely dominated the first race. Wasn't even a challenge. He goes around the last couple of corners now. And through the last one. Let's see what time our current our championship leader can do. It's an entire second quicker than Coda. And his teammate also into the 1:05, so it's a good day for the Haas. Oh, Luke's out. What happened to Luke here? Luke on the edge of... Wow, that card's absolutely just jammed into the wall. So, Luke's out without a time. That might give a few people, including those two Haasers at the front, a little bit of breathing room. A little bit of an idea of what they can and can't get away with for the duration of this race. We go through the final corner here with Galaxy. It's not a particularly great lap. It's a 1:08. What's going on here? Scott's invalidated. Alfie going on a lap now by the looks of things. Tyrant's just joined the lobby as well. See if he can get himself sorted out, put himself at the 13th man in the lobby. Joining qualifying, should still be able to get a good, should be able to get at least one shot at this, maybe even two. As we see the Ferrari going through the second sector now, I believe that's Galaxy in front of him has just pulled off to the side. And Alan goes through the second, third to last, and Salmon's out! Salmon's out! Oh, well that's not good. 1:09.3 is not a great lap whatsoever to have retired from the session on. And there goes Alfie with a 1:06 flat. Again, it's still really got to be improved. And Jono, I guess, had an absolute nightmare of a lap. It's about a 16.2. We saw Senna did a 16.4 when we watched this originally on the first lap. So, put in perspective, he's 2/10 of a second quicker than Senna. Would put him somewhere around fourth, maybe even further up into third. At the rate he's currently going, he's going to go through the middle sector now and up to the end of the middle sector. Let's see whether or not he's able to hold that time or if he'd gone even quicker. 45.4. Currently 30 seconds off on his time. It's not really indicative, but considering his time to 1:40. He goes around the second to last, through the last corner now. It's really easy to pick up a penalty or an invalidation on those last couple of corners. Down to the line, it's a 5.58. It's enough for third, but it's not enough to beat Naismith. Well then. Yeah, he is. He is very good. He's the surprise package, to be honest with you, because in Australia he did not look impressive. I'll say that, he did not look impressive in Australia when we did pre-season testing, but whether that was just him not liking Australia, him getting unfortunate, or a combination of the two. Well, since the season started, he's had an absolute blinder. Someone's had a bit of a problem in Sector 3. Not sure if he's pulled over just to let the McLaren through or not. But, yeah, so Kia, it's what you do on the day that counts. Yep, absolutely. Don't show your hand too early. Kia's in the gravel. Kia's in the gravel. That was all over the place. That was way too deep. Way too deep. And he's going to pay the price for that. It's lucky that Austria is wide and you're not going to have a lot of walls if you go, if you spin out that area. Kia looking to improve from last week, has to do something here. Senna did a 105.8. It's an improvement, 4.5 tenths. Marco also up on his best time right now. The two Haasers out on outlap. Same with Alfie and Galaxy and Tyrant. It doesn't look like Marco's just had the greatest of corners in the end of the second sector there. It's a bit deep and, quite frankly, might be a killer for his lap. He was a 10th up. That's someone going extremely poorly in the attempt to warm up his tyres back there. One of the Haasers deciding that it wasn't a good idea. It was Charles. And yeah, Marco's mistake there caused him to have a bit of a problem. Let's have a look at what Scotty Boy's doing. But here comes the end of the second sector here for the Alfa Romeo, who's gone a bit too deep. Again, if you go a bit too deep in that corner, it could quite frankly end your entire lap. It will. If you go over the line there, that's the end of his lap for sure. Galaxy doesn't look like he's in much of a control of that car right now. I'm actually going to go to see what Charles can do just in front of him. And he goes through the end of the second sector now. Look, not too deep. He's getting himself on the curb, but he's pretty much nailing it. He's another 0.2 of a second up. He might be dropping into the fours. Dropping into the fours would be pretty impressive. As he goes down to the final corner, just about survives the lap. It's a 104.8. Scott Boyd's not doing an awful lot in terms of lap there, because his ZRS has been deployed on the lap he invalidated in. Not if you make a mistake here, it's not really going to work in your favour unless it's an early mistake. A 104.8 for Charles is 7 tenths clear. We might be watching a very, very similar version of what we watched last week, a 158 for a Tyrant, as both the Aston Martins are in the 105.8s now. Let's have a look at what Naismith's doing. No, not Naismith, Jono. He'll go Naismith in a bit. He's going through the end of the second sector now. And now, oh, he's invalidated. Everyone seems to be having a bit of a problem through that corner there. They're getting in terms of keeping it valid. Tyrant's 0.2 of a second down. Naismith has invalidated this lap, and his other lap wasn't particularly great either. Scott's going again, but he's got no ERS here, so he should be pitting. See what Kia's doing afterwards. Alfie as well. Scott's going to go one more, I guess. It's not particularly impressive. It's a 107. Let's see what Alfie's doing. See if Alfie is actually going to do much. He is currently slower. And it's not particularly great right now for Alfie, who had a real good shot last week before his race was unfortunately ended extremely quickly. As for people left on the grid, you've got Kia, who's now moved up from his 1 and 10 to a 1-7. It's small margins, I guess. But that does put Luke right at the back. Salmon, the one in front of him, with a 109 before crashing the final corner. Watch the end of Alfie's lap here, then we'll see if Naismith is doing anything. It's not quick enough. It's not quicker for Alfie there. It doesn't look like Naismith's going to be an awful lot quicker either. As Naismith probably goes... he's not going to go into the pits here. Is he going to stay out? His lap is obviously not quicker. He didn't abort it either, so I don't understand what the idea is for Naismith here. We'll continue watching and see if we can figure it out. Afterwards, we'll skip backwards, see what Kia is doing, because he looks like he's the next car on the track. Oh, Kia did a 107.5. It jumps him above the Alfa Romeo. But I feel like you probably need to be better, like 3 or 4 seconds quicker than a 108 or 107 here. Yeah, Naismith's out. Naismith is not finishing that lap. He's just going to come into the pits. What's Senna doing? Because Kia's just done a lap, so Kia's should be coming into the pits as well to give himself one last shot at getting in and then out with enough in the tank. Charles is now on an out lap as well. Naismith's going to go in and set himself up for one more. Charles come out, so it's very clearly his last attempt. That's a... Oh, Kia's out! Kia's out! Oh, that's a heavy hit. That's a very heavy hit. So Scott and Galaxy, there's your reprieve if you can take it. If you can find a second, you've got your reprieve. It's Senna going in to try and last-ditch attempt this, I think. Coda currently just ever so slightly quicker, not enough to get Alfie and not enough to really pose a threat. But he's still going. Credit to the man for continuing on. Charles has pit, which is interesting. Maybe a bit too early for Charles' last run, but either way, it's an interesting call. Oh, Charles out! Okay, so Charles has decided that he doesn't need to go again. Fair enough. It didn't look like Coda did a lot there. Let's have a look at what Scott's doing, because Scott... about to go onto a lap. Same with Tyrant. There'll be one of Scott's last attempts here, I think. 107.7 right now his best lap. Realistically, got to get a move on. He needs to find 0.2 of a second to gain a position at the very least. Quite frankly, he should need to be looking to find a good second or two. He has found 4.5 tenths in the first sector, so that's not a bad start. He goes for the second sector. He needs to continue the momentum. He has got a position on Kaya at the moment, provided he doesn't mess up. The real question is, can he hold it, and can he get even further? Marco on an outlap now, which is good news for him. It's realistically his last shot at this. Like one of the Aston Martins getting out of the way. Tyrant getting out of the way for Naismith, I think. It looks like one of the McLarens is getting out of the way as well. You watch Scott go around the final corner. And he is going to do a 106.2. It's enough for 2 positions. And that's all it's good enough for. That's not a McLaren, lads. That's not a Haas, lad. Sorry, that's McLaren. And here we go. Right, Naismith off for his final go at this then. This is realistically last chance saloon for everyone. Everyone about to go through their final laps. I'm pretty sure Scott's already done because he's out of BRS. Naismith not actually quicker right now. He's going to hand the chance to the McLaren for the front row as it stands. There goes the end of Coda's session. There goes the end of Senna's session as well. They both in the pits with about half a minute to go. Let's continue to watch Naismith. Everyone's got over the line. I don't think Scott will get over the line to start another lap. Either way, I don't think he'll have the RS to start another lap, but we'll wait and see. He will get over the line, though. You're in the dance at the very least. So that's the end of Senna and Coda's session. Both in the checkered flag. Naismith, round the final corner, goes into the pits, and, well then, that's not good news. He's left it open. He might not be on the front row now. Here comes Tyrant. He is a tenth of a second up. It's not enough right now to put himself on the front row. He's going around the final corner. It's a 4, it's a 5, it's a 5-6. It's not enough to beat him. It looks like Marco isn't able to beat his time by a significant portion either. So he's going to have to settle for 9th. Jono's had an absolute nightmare. And it might just be good enough for Naismith anyway. Here comes Alfie to the line. Alfie's only done a 5.9. Scott's slow. Galaxy's in the pits. So it's a Haas front row lockout. Haas 1-2, and it's 7/10 of a second. 7/10 of a second split in Charles and Naismith, his teammate. Tyrant in 3rd, Jono 4th, Senna 5th, though. Good day for both Haas's and both Aston Martins. And that's the end of qualifying. Haley makes it 2 from 2. Absolutely is. Absolutely on. Charles is on fire right now. Absolutely on fire. No one's stopping her. Luke, well, had a good race last week before it was abruptly cut short. This time, he has to fight his way from entirely from the back. Well then, let's see what we can. It's overcast for the race as well. Let's see if we can get some interesting racing here, because something tells me we might not. But here we go. We might be about to have a go at a formation lap. We are. So, Charles on pole position. And quite frankly, anybody's going to be hard pressed to stop him without him forcing a mistake on his own. Then you got Naismith, his teammate directly behind him, just going to find a massive roadblock. to the point that this could be any amount that Charles likes this. The real question is, will it work? But then you've got Tyrant in behind, who looked to have a decent race last week before a little bit of a mistake or two cut off any chances of higher than third. Again, looking for maybe a second or a mistake from Charles to give him a win this time round. Jono in fourth, who thinks he could have been on the front row, and well, now he's got to prove it. Senna's starting in fifth. Got the backing of Breezy and Chad as well. Looking just to stay in it, see what he can actually provide at the moment. Alfie in sixth, who's just quite frankly looking to go longer than about 4 seconds into a race. Coda in seventh, who I am actually watching for the first time. Oh, I'm guessing it's a disqualification in terms of formation laps. That's just people ghosting through each other. That's even more people ghosting through each other. Luke deciding that he wants to just dart straight for the line. Looked like Charles decided that while trying to hot step his tyres, has decided that he didn't want to actually actually line up. Here we go. There's 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. What the hell has got here? Some people have got drive-throughs for a jump start. Tyrant's got off to one hell of a start. Charles just doing Charles thing. Galaxy up to fourth, but his jump start has dropped him all the way down, and it's chaos. It's absolutely chaos. Both the McLarens, Senna, I think Luke and Summer might have been involved as well. They are the main beneficiaries from it at the very least. And Tyrant's hit the front. Oh, that's another touch. Going between Salmon and Coda this time. Oh, there goes Luke turned around. To 3 with drive-throughs off of jump starts. Tyrant flying off the line to take advantage of the Haas's not being very quick off them themselves. What the hell have I just watched? We've gone for 2 corners and half the grid's already lost their front wings. And all got penalties for jumping the start. Lot of damage going on there. So I don't even have a timer between Tyrant, Charles and Naismith at the moment. I don't think it is 0.67, lads. So Tyrant right now on top of the world. And Galaxy, Marco, and I assume Luke might be one to follow here to do their drive-throughs. Yep, all 4 at the back have come into pit. Jono in 9th now. And of course, there isn't an F1 race without chaotic start. There goes Naismith on Charles. Down the inside into turn 3. Gets it done. Charles is not having the race we once thought he would. His qualifying looks so spectacular, but the race itself has fallen apart for him very quickly. He's in 3rd right now. He's got to get a move on. His teammate just overtook him, and Tyrant building a gap. It looks like we've got Kia and Coda going at it. We're not going to get a good camera angle of Kia and Coda going at it until Coda is already alongside and actually past Kia as he moves up into 5th. Tyrant going again. That's probably a 1 in there for Kia as he goes too deep into the final corner. Someone missed the start. Tyler, that's probably not a good idea. Well, as we watch, we're on lap 3. The fight for the lead is still happening. We've got a couple of people back here still in it as well. And it looks like we're actually going to go to the fight for the lead. Yellow flag in sector 2. It's a McLaren. And I think that is Jono. Yeah, it is. That's Jono that's spanning at the edge of turn 3. The end of the first sector. Not having a good time with it right now. Said he could have been on the front row at the end of qualifying. Didn't end up working out in that vein there, and it's not working out here either. Naismith right behind Tyrant. Naismith has to fancy his chances while he's got Tyrant directly in front of him. There goes the McLaren again, who's just slid off the track, and it's Jono whose tyres must be burning at this point. Having an absolute nightmare with it and passed by his teammate. 3 seconds worth of time penalties for Kia. Here comes Naismith. Naismith on Tyrant the same way he did to his teammate. And he gets it done down the inside of turn 3. Naismith has picked his spot so far, and it's worked to perfection. If you are in a good place to pick your spots and you're picking them well and you make the moves, then you're in a good position. And Naismith, after being second in qualifying, taking advantage of a really poor start by Charles to hand him and Tyrant a better position. And quite frankly, right now, Naismith is creating a little bit of a gap. We do have DRS currently active. Wait to see for the wings to open up now. And Charles is really flying at Tyrant, who's not really closing an awful lot in on Naismith until they hit turn 1, where that gap closed by about 0.3 of a second. It's going to close again here, but can Charles save his teammate here by doing a little bit of attacking himself? He will. He's going to get alongside the same way Naismith did on the prior lap. And the Haasers were almost 1-2 for a second there. The exit very much in the vein, in the favour of the Aston Martin, who might have a shot at Naismith here, going the long way, tries to hang it around the outside, tries to switch back, and he gets it! And he gets it as well! What a move there from Tyrant. Naismith's going to poke his wing in there, see if he can do it one more. He isn't going to be able to do it. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer for Tyrant to make a little bit of a mistake. He's not going to yet. Naismith's going to have a little bit of a look. Tyrant right now having a flyer. Same with Naismith. Charles being brought straight back into this one, though, as a result of the two in the lead fighting it out. You would expect Charles to be let past rather quickly here. Actually, no, Naismith's going to fight him off. That might help Tyrant more than it helps Naismith. And Charles drops off a little bit here. Maybe Naismith's going to have to pick a spot again against Tyrant. Tyrant looking to defend the inside. He's not done it very well. Here comes the inside again from Naismith, and they touch! And they touch! Oh, and there goes Tyrant into the wall as well! Oh, it looked clean up until the exit of turn 3. A little bit deep there from Naismith, pushes Tyrant off the track. And now we've got a Haas 1-2, and Tyrant's all but out of it. We'll see, right? We'll see in a minute whether or not Charles is going to take advantage of this. Now, Tyrant is closing in a little bit, but he's got Alfie for company now. Outside of the top 4, no one else is really in with a shout of an overtake apart from Jono, who's about to come right up to his teammate. And, well, Charles not really able to make much of an inroad right now. His teammate's still holding him off right now. The lead of the race. 2 Haas guys are going fighting. Charles not having everything his own way. Jono finally gets past Galaxy. Oh, there goes Jono! That's the reset to track, but Jono, the casualty, I think there might have been a little bit of a touch there. But Jono, the casualty. His teammate goes on, he's currently in 10th. Penalties right now just sits at 3 seconds to the 3 people. Center one on hards early. But right now it looks like the battle for the lead is not going to go in the favor of the current title leader. The title leader is second, his teammate in first. Coda goes into the pits now, trying to do a two-stop, I'm assuming. Yellow flag for an Alfa Romeo there. And it looks like Scott has gone off at the beginning of the third sector. He has. And in comes Marco to go past him. Here comes Charles against Naismith. But the lag has created something different entirely there. And, well, quite frankly, it's normal service resumed. Oh, it was normal service resumed until Naismith just late braked straight into the back of his teammate. That was almost catastrophic. But Charles going to be able to avoid disaster. And quite frankly, it should be game over from here. Jono gets past Galaxy as they head up into turn 3. Something's happened here between Luke and Scott. And Scott's gone round. Galaxy versus Jono. Galaxy holding off for a split second. Until Jono gets the speed down the straight and the teammates are not working together here. And there goes Galaxy deep into the corner. And overshoots it by a country mile. Wait, Nay has wing damage from the incident with Charles. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's not very evident though on his car. It isn't very evident on the car at the very least. So it's surely game over though for their race now. Surely it would have to incur another mistake from Charles. Yellow flag in sector 2. I think it's got again. And at this point, he's about to get lapped. As we watch, there you go. We watched in front. There's Charles go past. And there goes Scott yet again. And the blue flag come out and he's lapped by the top 4 now. It's the top 4. Still holding themselves in. Here we go. Tyrant versus Naismith yet again. Tyrant hits the back of Naismith though. Oh, it looked like it hit the back of Naismith. A little bit laggy as Naismith now comes in to sort his wing out. And that leaves Tyrant and Alfie to take 2 and 3. Naismith going on to the hards early, looking to make him stretch. It looked like Coda's got in front as well. Right now, Salmon in 4th. Still got a long way to go. He still needs a couple of mistakes for a podium at the very least. A 5-second penalty for Scott, which I think he just didn't ask at this point, right? Being a lap back on literally every single person in the entire lobby would probably be cause for retiring in the pits. You got Galaxy and Kia going at it. It looked a little bit rough. It is a little bit rough. It is a little bit rough between the two of them. A little bit of a few taps going on there. A little bit of a push beforehand. Then there's got taps. There's another tap there as Galaxy and Kia apparently don't understand where both of them are on the track. Salmon now comes into pit, I assume, to go onto the hard tyre. But at the same time, we've got Alfie getting past Tyrant. Tyrant not being able to hold his position to gain it back. We continue to watch the battle of the back, but we're actually going to go up toward that battle for a second right now. Salmon pitting onto the hard tyre. Right now, I think he's ahead of Scott. Well, he's definitely ahead of Scott. Probably ahead of Kia and Galaxy as well. Kia getting past Galaxy for real this time. It looks like Galaxy's out. Yeah, Galaxy's out. He had to turn 3. And that might be a safety car. It is. Galaxy out at the edge of turn 3. It's not a lifeline for Scott because he's already lapped. But for everybody else, absolutely a lifeline. And I could imagine we're going to have a decent chunk of people going onto the hard tyre here. Nate needed that safety car, but I think he would have preferably wanted that safety car after everyone else had already pit. Having it now is just a really, really nice way for everyone else to get out and onto a different set of tyres. Let's be honest, Tyrant, Alfie, they're all going to go into the pits here. Surely onto the hard tyres. It would be a mistake not to. What the hell happened to Alfie? Why has Alfie gone past Tyrant? I don't think you can do that, lad. He actually does give the position back. So, Charles comes in. I would expect that, yep, Tyrant, Alfie both following Q. And Naismith's going to come out of this fourth. Not really a lot of beneficial scenario there for Naismith. It looked like Tyrant got held up. Tyrant got held up. Might have been to change of wing or some sort. It's allowed for Alfie to be in second. So Charles, Alfie, Tyrant, Naismith, Senna, your top 5 right now. Can imagine that everyone that's left is probably going to the end now. But as we watch the safety car go round, probably go back on maybe lap 15, maybe a little bit later, depends how long it takes everyone to catch back up to the safety cars. We go through the second sector now, we're about to come up to the end of the second sector, so it's absolutely not this lap. Only 3 people have caught up to said safety car right now. It's going to bunch everyone back up eventually. Depending on how long everyone takes, it might bunch a good chunk of the grid, not all of the grid. Kia's gone into the pits. I can only assume, well, he's actually going to come back out and go on his 3-lap old mediums. I don't think your mediums are making it to the end from there. Everyone else's hards will. Kia might be in a little bit of trouble here. 4 cars up to the safety car. You've got the Aston of Senna joining us momentarily alongside Salmon directly in behind that. Salmon needed that. Absolute crap first stint from Smith. Well, it was a good first stint up until the incident with Charles. That's where it went. That's where it started slipping down and off a cliff. That's what happened there. One person, the biggest winner from this safety car though, has to be Salmon. Like, I have to believe that Salmon might be the biggest winner from this safety car. Either got a easy pit stop onto the hards, go to the end of the race. He would have been on. He would have been in a lot of trouble otherwise. And quite frankly, he might be in for another run at this. However, someone got to challenge Charles, because when they did for the first like 8 or 9 laps, he didn't like it. You put Charles. It looked like, yeah, if it looks like if you're going to put Charles under pressure, he might not like it. He might be one to make mistakes whenever you actually pressure him. The real question is, Alfie going to be the one that does it? If Alfie can get a good start, he might be able to put Charles under the caution. We saw what happened at the beginning of the race. If you put him under the caution, he makes a mistake, he gives it away. And he lets you go exactly where you need it to. He did eventually come back though, but most of it coming. Most of it is just going to be, well, what people can do from the safety car, I think. We've got a safety car in this lap. I think Kia is about to join the back of the crew, which actually means we are going to have everyone up to the back of the pack for when the safety car comes in. Going to be lap 16 that we start. There we go. We're going to go on, we're going to start again on Charles Word, sorry. Is the one in charge right now. Alfie looking to see when he goes, see if he can get an advantage. Real question is, when is he deciding to go? I think he's decided to go. I don't think he caught Alfie all that off guard. He also definitely hasn't caught Tyrant all that off guard. Tyrant might be looking for a way in. Kia gets past Marco, who has a little bit of a problem in the final corner. And right now, it doesn't look like an awful lot's happening here. Salmon versus Jono is a battle in the midfield. Oh, there goes Jono! Jono's out! Oh, that's an incident. Oh, that's an incident between him and Salmon. I think Salmon might have a damaged car as a result. That is an incident. It's not a good one. Charles spun it as well. Charles has been... Wow! There's your mistake. The formidable title, well, championship leader right now makes another mistake in his first race antics where he just dominated, have not come to fruition here at Austria. And it's going to be Alfie that leads the way right now. Yellow flag in sector 3, just Marco coming in. Charles has to get a move on now. Can he make his way back up? Here comes Naismith versus Tyrant. We might have a three-way soon enough. We're going to have Tyrant down the inside on Alfie. And it's hit Alfie. And Alfie's been hit by Naismith on the way through as well. Naismith is going to take advantage. And he's going to hit the front. It looks like Tyrant's going to try and hang it around the outside. We're going to get a good camera angle from Alfie's point of view. The switchback attempt from Tyrant. He did it last time on Naismith here as well. And it worked to perfection. And if he can hang it around the outside, it's worked to perfection again. Tyrant loving that middle corner of sector 2. I think it's turn 4. Where he just is absolutely loving hanging it around the outside there and then switching back as soon as he possibly can. There you go. The DRS has now been enabled all over again, and everything is going along right now. Tyrant right now, was leading earlier on. Here comes Tyrant versus Naismith again. Naismith to hang it around the outside to switch it back. It's not working this time. Oh, and he's come together with Alfie. He's come together with Alfie. He's brought him back to centre. However, that might just leave Tyrant on his own, in control of this race for as long as he needs. Charles right now back up to 7th. Has to hunt down a few people. And quite frankly, if he can get up to the back of this pack, he might still get a podium out of this. Tyrant, 2.8 seconds out the way. Up the road, because Alfie and Naismith right now coming together, and Alfie's going to pit. That's got to be wing damage of some sort then, as they came together in turn 3. 3-second time penalty for track limits for Salmon as well. And Charles right now in 6th, hanging himself onto the back of this pack. Or he will do soon enough. If he can get onto the back of this pack, he should be on course for a podium position somehow. Luke is going to get himself past Senna. Senna's going to leave it in right at the end. A little bit of a tap, but relatively clean. And Senna's going to hold that position. It might open the door for Coda here. Coda's looking for it. Luke is also going to get past Senna. It's pretty nice work. Coda's going to try and hang it around the outside. It's deep. It's deep there by Senna. It's a tap again. It's not the cleanest. And Coda trying to stick his nose in the middle. Tried to find a gap. And quite frankly, it was almost perfect, but the two of them in front of him converged quite quickly. And here comes Charles trying to just pick at the pieces of what Luke, Coda and Senna have left behind. He picked at the pieces of Luke. He's up into 5th, and well, quite frankly, Charles has been led away with a massive mistake. He has had a massive let-off here. Naismith, however, 2.5 seconds ahead of these guys. Charles got round again! Oh, what was a great race last week. It just turned into an absolute atrocity this time. It's a travesty for the championship leader in Austria. Down to 7th again. Has to work his entire way back up. As we watch Coda, Senna and Luke probably fight it out for a podium spot now. Jesus Christ. Absolute chaos. That's what this has been. Both McLarens are out, so every single person in the top 10 will probably get points. Here comes Marco down the inside of Alfie, who's just about able to hang it enough. Oh, and it's not over yet! Tyrant! Oh, that's costly. That's a dumb mistake. Tyrant getting 3 seconds worth of track limit penalties. Well, he's 2.5 seconds in the lead. He's pushing for no reason. Oh, and he might have just handed this one to Naismith, who's 4 seconds up the road. Luke and Senna directly behind Coda for 4th right now, and Luke going to make quick and very easy work of that one. Tyrant makes a mistake, and it's a mistake you should not be making that far in the lead. Half the grid has penalties. There's one for Marco, one for Salmon, Charles and Kia going at it, and Charles gets past Kia without much problems. Still 6.5 seconds behind Senna right now. And a long, long way to go. And he's very vastly running out of time. And, well then. Senna comes into pit. Senna must have had a bit of damage there. He gets 5 seconds to speed in the pit lane as well. Luke gonna have to go after Coda. Luke from the back might be able to just snap a last second podium spot. Need a second safety car. And need something. There's a few people that could do with a second safety car here, I think. Here comes Luke trying to go after Coda, who's had a pretty magnificent race at the moment. For someone I've not watched before, he's held it very well. It's impressive to hold it very well, especially through all the chaos that has essentially happened in this race. 0.3 of a second splitting these two right now, though. Looking for the final podium spot. Luke does have a penalty, though. It doesn't look like Luke's going to be able to get him here. He might be able to push right up by the time we hit turn 3, though. Gets a good exit. He is catching up to Coda. It's slow but surely whittling away at the Williams. 3 seconds more for Marco, who's currently 9th. And it doesn't look like Luke to be able to get him there. He might have touched Coda a little bit there, though. A little bit of a tap from behind. Coda's going to be able to hold on for a little bit longer, but DRS is going to hand Luke this position. Coda not be able to make that legendary switchback we've seen Tyrant go for twice so far this race. And Naismith versus Tyrant. Oh! Coda's made a mistake. Wait, no he hasn't. Engineer just reporting rain. Oh, that's interesting. Might have another switch up still to come then. We've got about 0.5 of a second in between Luke and Coda. DRS working in the opposite direction this time. There you go. It's still not good enough for Coda as we go up towards turn 3. The fight for the lead between Naismith and Tyrant isn't really relevant considering Naismith had about 1.8 second advantage after Tyrant's costly error. He pushed for no reason, got himself a penalty, now he's back against the wall as he's now 2 seconds down. Unless Naismith picks up one of his own. Coda just not able to really get himself close enough to Luke anymore. Charles trying to close that gap back in. He's running out of time, the 12 laps. He would be a very hard press to actually just come away with a podium from this. Honestly, I think Coda might be driver of the day right now, him or Luke. Look at this battle has been pretty good. You've had a battle between Naismith and Tyrant the entire way as well. If I'm Naismith, I'm not pushing this. No way I'd be pushing this. If you happen to force a mistake, that's fine. But if you get it wrong, you will throw away a win. Coda getting really close now. 0.4 of a second. We're on lap 25. 0.3 of a second between the two here. It's not quite enough for Coda to put something in just yet. About 0.7 of a second between Naismith and Tyrant on track. Not really the most relevant fight we've seen. Luke versus Coda also heading in the direction of Coda right now because of penalties to Luke. Charles also has 3, Kiera has 6, Alfie not that far back. It's about half a second split in first and second, and then third and fourth at the same time. Coda's just about hanging in there with Luke right now. Luke from the back has been pretty impressive. But when you take advantage of someone so dominant, making such poor errors, it gives us a pretty shaken up grid. Charles had a good chance at this today. He had 7 attempts in qualifying. Simply not able to make it stick. There's a half second now. Wow, Coda's dropped off the back of Luke by quite a considerable margin. Naismith, however, not facing the same fate. He's closing it in on Tyrant. I somehow don't think he should push the envelope here. I don't think he should push it. He got effectively 3 seconds in hand. You push it here and you get it wrong. Then, oh, he got to go down the inside again! He's done it! Well, I guess I should just shut up at this point. Naismith again, picking his point and sticking it. Here comes Tyrant down the inside, and it comes for a switchback. This time it's Naismith pulling it off. This corner between these two drivers, man. We have been put up for a treat today between these two. Tyrant losing the car a little bit there. Jesus Christ. And Salmon's out. Salmon's out. Oh, and Tyrant's hit a wall! Tyrant's hit a wall! Tyrant's hit a wall! Oh no! And there goes Luke! On Tyrant, they both have 3 seconds. And here comes Coda yet again. Charles also getting a little bit of leeway here. And there goes Salmon's car. We're down to 9 people in this race. Split into realistically 3, well, way too much damage there for Salmon. That's the reason why he ended up DNFing. Yellow flag, sector 1, it's Kia. Kia's gone. Tyrant versus Luke here to the inside of turn 4. And it's still Tyrant. Tyrant's going to hang it around the outside and he's going to make it work. A little bit of a tap there between the two of them. But Tyrant has done it extremely well today. When he chose a spot to make his move today, he has well and truly made it work. And it looks like Tyrant's going to have to fend off Luke here, and Coda's just happy to sit behind him and watch. And quite frankly, I can't imagine why. Still absolutely flying right now. Luke not quite able to get close enough to Tyrant through turn 3. Coda still 7/10 off the back of Luke. Still hanging himself in there. Still giving himself a clean shot a second. And it looked like there's a little bit of a tap there. Might have just been a little bit of a lag that showed them coming together. But Tyrant holding it still. He has been one of the better drivers today, Tyrant. Had one mistake that caused him to spiral downhill, essentially. That 3-second time penalty, could have just played it safe. The worst, he would have got second. At the best, he's going to get third now. Here comes Luke on Tyrant. And Tyrant's going to hold him off for a slight bit longer. I don't think it's going to be that much longer with that kind of exit, though. Here comes Luke again, this time with DRS. And he's going to get him. He's definitely going to get him here. No question about that. He's going to try hang it round the outside here, Tyrant. And he doesn't actually get it this time, but he is going to be the one with DRS down the straight. Maybe it's his turn to hang it around the outside and force that switchback. He's done to Naismith twice now. He's going to go for it again. He's going to go for it again. Is he going to get it? He's still alongside. If he gets it, this would be incredible. He doesn't get it, though. He's a little bit too wide on the exit of the following corner. It would have been incredible. Tyrant has been a master of that switchback today. It looks like Tyrant's going to be able to have a go here. Charles got in front of Coda now as well. And as it stands, Charles has to get a move on. These two in front of him are actually in front of him. Coda still able to sit in, realistically try and survive the penalties. It's still possible that Coda gets second here. He's got about 5 laps to hold it. And Tyrant right now not able to get in front, but he will with a mistake from Luke there. Oh, and Coda's dropped it. Coda's dropped the car. And what was looking so nice for him, he could have had an excellent drive today, resulting in a podium at the very least, possibly even a second. He drops at the worst possible time. You've got about, well, it's now a 3-way battle here. These all have 3 seconds worth of penalties. So, never mind. Never mind. I guess I speak and someone else picks up a penalty. It's 3 more for Charles, who quite frankly needs a miracle to be on the podium now. has to break. He has to get Luke here, and he has to break 3 seconds, which means he probably has to get Tyrant as well. And he's got about 4 or 5 laps to do it. Here we go, down into the beginning of the second, middle of the second sector, sorry. It's still Tyrant holding off Luke. Tyrant had a pretty good race, apart from that one, those 2 mistakes, the one with the penalty and then the following spin at the end of the lap, a few laps back, that handed Naismith a rather comfortable win today. Wow, that is provided Naismith doesn't mess it up. Naismith has it all in the bag. He just needs to drive the safest 5 laps he can possibly drive. Penalties won't even be a problem for him at this point. It's 9 seconds the gap. He just needs to make sure that that car stays as straight as it physically can. Here comes Luke on Tyrant. We're going to get another battle between these two. And it's going to be Luke with DRS that wins that one. Maybe Charles to stick it in. He doesn't actually get a look in there, and Luke's going to have to survive Tyrant with DRS again. These two are going to go at it once more. Maybe Tyrant is going to be able to hang it round the outside again. He's been looking for it the entire race. He's going to go to the inside this time. He's late on the brakes. He's fucked it. He's messed it up, and he's come back onto the track and obstructed Charles as well. And Luke is absolutely loving life right now. Mistake from Tyrant, too late on the brakes, too deep in the corner, and effectively removes both of Luke's obstacles to a second place. Here comes Charles versus Tyrant. Charles needs to get 3 seconds on Tyrant just to get a podium spot. Otherwise, he's going to have to settle for 4th with a, well, what would probably be an extremely disappointing day for him, considering he was 7 tenths clear of qualifying. It would be that clear at qualifying to be that out of form in the race would be quite something substantial. He's going to get down the inside here, so he's got the main thing done. He's overtaken someone here for a podium spot. However, he's now no pressure, got to hang it, but he's got to brake in this next 2 or 3 lap stint. He's got to break 3 seconds on Tyrant. Here comes Tyrant to try to switch back again. Charles having none of that. Charles is having absolutely none of that. And Tyrant hanging off the back of Charles now. Charles 1.4 seconds behind Luke. 6 tenths of a second ahead of Tyrant. He has, what, effectively maybe 2 laps left to break that gap. He's 8 tenths of a second clear right now. He needs 3. It's a 6 tenths of a second. Tyrant's closing the gap. Charles needs DRS and he needs it quick. Otherwise he's not going to get very far here. He's closing the gap, however, to Luke, who's now 10 seconds behind. And yeah, Tyrant's not going to be able to get close to Charles at this point. Can Charles get close enough to he's going to get close enough to Luke. He's going to have one shot at this. He's got 1 lap, realistically, here, Charles. He needs 2.2 seconds, no pressure. Yellow flag in sector 2. It's Coda again. Oh, no, that's not Coda, sorry. That's Marco. Wrong Williams. Yeah, Coda had one hell of a race up until a very unfortunate timely drop of the car at turn 3, sorry. He is going to close it into Alpha here. And Charles, while getting really close to Luke, yellow flag in sector 2 for Kia, is not really going to be able to get close enough to make a 3-second gap drop right now. And Naismith goes past gear to lap him. Naismith had the chance and has absolutely capitalized on it. Tyrant made the mistake. He opened the door. And when you open the door for Naismith, sometimes he can throw it away. We've seen it happen before. But sometimes he absolutely takes it by the horns and he wins in Austria by quite a considerable margin. 11.5 seconds plus penalties. And it's going to be Luke that scrapes it over the line for second place, out from 13th. Tyrant, a mistake or two, a mistake-ridden race, causing him to unfortunately drop to third. He had third last week. He got third again. Could have been a race win though. He just messed it up. Charles gets fourth after what has to be considered a really bad day at the office. Alfie gets fifth. Coda gets sixth. Senna gets seventh. Marco gets eighth. Kia gets ninth. Salmon 10th with a DNF. The two McLarens 11th and 12th got 13th. Jesus Christ. That was chaos. That was one hell of a race. That was one hell of a race. I needed my voice to come back for a minute. Naismith taking advantage of Tyrant messing it up. He had to do something. He got the mistake he wanted in the end. Tyrant's gonna feel a little bit hard done by, but my God, did he have some moves today. Trust me, if there's if there's any sort of award for move of the season, I think I might have it in this race, and I just have a plethora to pick from Tyrant and that switchback on his own. Luke in second as well. Child, bad day at the office. Just it wasn't great for him, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, 14 seconds the gap. One Haas won comfortably the first race. His teammate wins comfortably the second time round. The real question is, how is it going to work in race 3? Might be a championship between the two Haases. We'll never know. But with that, I think I'm going to call it a day. I think I'm going to end the stream here. My voice is starting to fall off the edge of a cliff. So, yeah, I think that's me done. In a bit.